Hello everyone, we are here to talk about a little movie.
Ooh. That has great expectations.
Yes.
Big expectations.
Yes. Yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, this movie has some things to say.
About what?
Well, let's go into it.
Alright.
So, what is one of the things that you liked from the film?
Okay.
One thing you did.
Alright. So, this movie, I think the best asset it has going for it is it has great screenplay. Peyton Reed is the director on this one, and whoever we got to get the writing and the screenplay for it did a really good job. I honestly have not looked it up at this point, so I don't know who that is. Maybe it was Peyton Reed himself. If so, great job, dude. You did a fantastic job on it because the characters and what they say and what they do feel authentic, and they make you, they endear these characters to you. You really feel like you like them and you care about them. Even characters that you're not supposed to necessarily like, you still enjoy their presence, and you're kind of like, every time they pop on screen, you're like, oh man, what are they going to do next?
Yeah.
I always found myself thinking that, especially in the case of the villains.
Mm-hmm.
Screenplay, check. Great. Fabulous.
Yeah. So my good thing about this film was the villains, to be honest.
See, segue from what we were just talking about.
As a lot of Marvel fans have kind of said in the past, the earlier villains in the MCU have kind of been not as great. You got like Ultron, who's just like, it's all about world dominance,
I'm a puppet on strings.
Yeah.
Tear me down.
No strings on me. Yeah.
It's the NSYNC commercial. Remember that album?
Yeah. We've started getting better villains since then. We got Baron Zemo in 2015.
Good start.
We have Thanos. Everyone loves. And this felt much better because we have Ghost.
So, would you argue, though, that she may not be, by the end of the movie, necessarily a complete villain?
No, and that's the thing that's great about it, is that her motives aren't just about defeating Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's not her goal in this. Her goal is to survive. It turns out that
don't spoil it.
It turns out that she's not technically alone in this, and so you have these characters who are both good and both bad. There's no defining line as to what they are. Yeah, and that feels really nice in this film, especially because you have Ant-Man, who is technically...
Well, he's technically a criminal.
Yeah.
Let's face it, and so are Hank Pym and his daughter.
Yeah. We are focusing on them as protagonists, but they have done bad things in their life. And these villains that they're fighting have also big, good characteristics to them as people.
Good qualities.
The villains in this feel very fresh, especially when it's not one of the bigger Avenger movies.
Well, especially when they're two, I'll put it this way, main ones, and they kind of share the contrast between seriousness and hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and then let's go into our things that we didn't like as much.
So, it's really weird for me. This is going to sound like a very weird thing to find fault with, and the reason why I say that is also because this movie is hard to find faults with. It's a very solid movie. You go in, you watch it, you have a good time. And that leads me to this thing that I'm saying is it's very contained. It is its own movie. It is so small, but it's also bigger than the sum of its parts. It's really weird how that works. And yes, if you are a fan of this universe, there are things that tie into other movies, but the movie itself, though, isn't one giant, leap for the Marvel Universe. You know, it's not doing anything extraordinary, revolutionary, special. It's just really good at what it is. And not only do I feel like that's what the story is saying, but also kind of what the story is saying about the characters involved too. Ant-Man and the Wasp, they're their own thing. They're doing stuff that are outside of the boundaries of normal heroes, and that's okay and that's fine because that's what their movie's out there to be. And especially when you take it also as an action comedy, because, you know, we get action movies with comedy in them, whereas I think this is a comedy with action in it.
How big did you get?
My record, 21 feet. You?
65 feet.
65.
If you two are finished comparing sizes.
Yeah. So it's a mixed bag to say that, yes, it feels small, but that also is its greatest asset too. It's a weird complaint to have. And that's about as much a fault I can find with it. What about you, Ransom?
For me, I think it's a lot of just the pacing, especially following Infinity War, where it's just like a constant, you know, move.
Oh my god,
move.
yeah, gut punching you at every turn with things happening.
Yeah. This one, like, takes that step back, and at first it feels really weird. You get story building, and you know what's happened to Scott Lane.
Bobby Newport.
What's happened to Bobby Newport?
Bobby Newport wants you to just hand him this election. Don't.
And then back to story build up. So, and you don't really get more action until the very end, when it becomes a crazy, like, hot potato chaos.
Which is fun.
It's fun, yeah. Like, that is the good part, but, like, some of the pacing, I remember, like, sitting in it, and there's one point where I realized that, like, there really hasn't been much, like, going on right now. You know, there's a lot of just, like, talk and the dialogue, which was good, but it also just feels very weird because of the film that was before it.
Yeah. And I feel like, so, do you want to do scores?
Yeah.
Let's do scores. I feel like with this movie, it is very much a movie that right now, coming out of it, first reaction, I'm at like an 8 out of 10. Great time, I had a lot of fun with it, but I think that it could have engrossed me more, especially for a Marvel film, but I bet as I watch it again and over again, it might actually go up. So I'm going to start with a solid 8 here, and at least for me, give it a worthy watch.
Yeah. For me, I definitely feel the same way. It feels a lot like the first Ant-Man, but it does what that did a lot better. So the comedy feels much more natural, and it feels more succinct with the plot.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go with an 8 out of 10 as of right now. But yeah, I definitely think giving it a few more watches and like just enjoying, like, not thinking of it like critically, but just enjoying it as like the comedy and action movie it is. That's when my score will probably go up.
It feels like it's let down more by the fact that it is a sequential movie in a franchise rather than just a movie itself.
Exactly.
If it was a movie itself, I would almost like it more, I think.
Oh yeah. And especially like following Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like that's
jarring.
I think that's like the biggest letdown is the fact that it feels so much different than Infinity War, because it's like really uplifting and stuff, you know. Comparatively, except for the end post credit, but we won't say anything.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things to unpack with this movie, guys. Definitely think you should check it out. And shout out to you, Michael Pena, for again making everything better.
Yes.
You're great.
Indeed.
You're amazing. I love you.
Yes.
Thank you, Pena. Luis.
So, if you want to get in on this conversation, comment in the section below and get to discussing with us. We really enjoy feedback. So yeah, and we'll be having a spoiler review probably coming out this weekend.
Maybe we'll see.
So yeah, go see it when it comes out, then come back here so you can see what we think about it.
And talk with us and tell us what you love about it too.
Yes.
It's spoilers. Yeah. So until next time.
Until next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.